which it'll just be a toy he's bringing for everybody to have a look at. Okay, are we ready to go? So good evening, everybody. Welcome to the 2021 Learner Achievement Awards. We're going to be celebrating some outstanding success of adult and family learning in West Berkshire this evening, and it's so brilliant to see so many people here tonight. I know most of you. My name's Debbie Ferguson. I'm the chair of the West Berkshire Community Learning Partnerships, and I'm really honoured to be here this evening hosting this. I am a little disappointed that I'm not in Shore House. I have to admit, I think we were all very disappointed that this was we had to come back onto line. I think we all understand the reasons why, and fingers crossed that next year we will actually get to do this in person. So let's hope. I also want to just really shout out to the community learning team who've had to run around very quickly at last moment to put this event online, having got to quite advanced stages of planning it in person. And I particularly want to say thank you to Alex, who I know has been out meeting learners and taking photographs and giving them their prizes. So brilliant for that. A little bit of background. So the awards are now in the 18th year, and they continue to reflect real diversity in adult education and training that's available across West Berkshire. Adult learning not only provides opportunities for people to develop their careers through apprenticeships, professional training and qualifications, but it also addresses wider community and personal needs, such as improving health and well-being, developing communities and supporting families. And I think looking at the people represented here, I think we've got a really good representation of that. As we know, the last 18 months has been challenging for all of us, but I think we need to recognise the great steps that the people in the trainers in West Berkshire have done in taking their courses online and responding to the needs of the people of West Berkshire. I think we all became experts in Zoom and Teams, and I think for many of us there were new opportunities offered with online that perhaps hadn't been available face to face. And we did attract some new learners, including some vulnerable people who had family and work commitments. So I think whilst we would really relish that we're now getting back face to face, I think recognizing that there were some benefits to being online. And I think there are tonight as well, I think, as we're all sitting in our homes. I'm delighted you've taken the time to come and join me, celebrate the fantastic success of this year's winners, their hard work, resilience, determination to overcome the various challenges that reflects the attributes. Oh, sorry, okay, I've gone black. Oh, Alex, thank you. Okay, so firstly, welcome to Louise Sugden. Before we start tonight's award ceremony, I want to welcome our guest, Louise Sugden, who will be delivering this evening's keynote speech. Louise is a British powerlifter and former international wheelchair basketball player who's won a bronze medal at this year's Paralympics powerlifting event with an amazing 131 kilograms. A local girl who attended Kennett School, Louise achieved success at the highest level in her sport. She's an aspiration to us all, an example of how physical, mental and emotional strength can help us overcome challenges and achieve our goals. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Louise Sugden.
Hi everyone, thank you ever so much for having me here this evening. It's a real honour, and thank you for the introduction. I've got a little bit of an introduction, which I don't need to do now, so that's great. I'm going to just share my story with you guys, and hopefully you can relate to some of it, or just take away the message that I'm trying to get across to you guys. So when I was 9 months old, I was involved in a car crash, which completely changed the course of my life without me knowing it. Being injured and paralysed at such a young age is basically all I've ever known, and it's made me into the stubbornly independent person I am today. My sporting life began at a wheelchair basketball have a go session when I was 13 years old. and I fell in love with wheelchair basketball instantly. I wasn't great, but it gave me the freedom which I didn't get in everyday life, being in a wheelchair all the time. I was selected for my first GB International in 2003, at which we qualified for the Athens Paralympic Games. However, I wasn't then selected for Athens, and that really hit me hard. But looking back, that was the point where I made the decision that I wanted to represent my country at Paralympic Games. And I made a lot of changes in how I approached my sport and my training. I worked hard, I got myself a personal trainer, and the result was me being reselected into the team. And I then attended all major competitions between 2005 and 2014. Wheelchair basketball took me to 2 Paralympic Games, including the fantastic and incredibly special London in 2012. In Beijing, I was very inexperienced at such a high level of competition, but I really enjoyed the experience of playing in front of 15,000 people, which is something I'd never experienced prior to that competition. London was phenomenal. The support was just out of this world. The crowd didn't necessarily know the rules, but the support they gave was just indescribable. I was so proud to be named as captain of the GB women's team for that Paralympic Games. And even though the results didn't necessarily go our way, I have a lot of fond memories from London 2012. In 2014, I became quite ill, and little did I know at the time that that would be the event that ended my wheelchair basketball career. For 3 years, I battled to try and regain my fitness whilst trying to recover from the illness. But when I didn't get selected for Rio 2016, I made the decision to retire, and I officially retired from wheelchair basketball in 2017. After not making the team for Rio, I went back to my day job. I am a qualified accountant, and I quickly realised that I wasn't finished with sport at all. I needed a new challenge, so I tried some different sports. It didn't take long to realise that I was pretty good at powerlifting. I never said that I wanted to be a powerlifter, but I did strength training with basketball, and I was pretty strong. I had no idea how strong I could be, and I still surprised myself regularly. In my first powerlifting session in June 2017, I lifted 77.5 kilos. I did my first ever powerlifting competition in October 2017 and lifted 92 kilos. In December 2017, I was given the incredible opportunity to go to my first international competition, which was the World Championships, and I lifted 96 kilos, which placed me 10th in the world. The whirlwind continued in 2018 when I became a Commonwealth Games silver medalist with a lift of 103 kilos and European champion with a lift of 108 kilos. In fact, I've been more successful in the 4 years since switching to powerlifting than I ever was in my wheelchair basketball career. And I've definitely got more medals to show for it. You can see from this slide that I've achieved a lot in a very short space of time. Oh, that's the slide before. It's all right, don't worry. There we go. And despite the pandemic, lockdowns and postponements of the Paralympic Games, I finally achieved my goal of becoming a Paralympic medalist in 2021 after the hardest build up to Paralympic Games I've ever experienced. As Debbie mentioned, to win my medal in Tokyo, I lifted 131 kilos, which is 53.5 kilos more than I lifted in my first powerlifting session just over 4 years prior. The Tokyo Games was like no other. And while the COVID protocols were very challenging at times, I'm so grateful that they went ahead. Despite being relatively new to the sport, I knew I had a chance to come home with a medal. And that's what kept me training hard through lockdowns when I was training in my garage without my teammates around me. I was really worried that the COVID restrictions would make the games less enjoyable than games that I've been to previously. But I think it actually heightened my enjoyment of the experience because I knew that we were really privileged to be able to even have the games take place. The Japanese people were so welcoming and the facilities were fantastic, as you would expect in Japan. And obviously bringing home a medal helped. We had a small team out in Tokyo. They became my second family and we went through a lot together. As a team of five athletes, we came back with 3 bronze medals, which is the most successful powerlifting team in 21 years. So over the last 18 months, I think we've all learned a lot about ourselves and our resilience. I know I have. And we often don't give ourselves enough credit for the things we've achieved, which is why I love events like tonight, because it gives you the opportunity for some self-reflection. I touched briefly earlier on my accountancy qualifications, but I thought you might be interested to know that I didn't qualify as an accountant until I was almost 30, having studied for a very, very long time. And I didn't go to university like most people do, because I didn't have many friends at school, and the thought of trying to make friends at university, quite frankly, terrified me. So I stayed at home and I completed my qualifications via a local finance training company. I also didn't switch to powerlifting until I was 33, and I achieved my goal of a Paralympic medal at the age of 37. So basically, what I'm trying to say is that you don't need to follow the norm, and there's absolutely no time limit on achieving your goals. I'm now focusing on the next competitions. In the next month, I'm off to Tbilisi in Georgia for the World Championships, and then it's on to preparation for the Commonwealth Games in Birmingham in 2022. After Christmas, and in less than 3 years' time, I get the opportunity to try and upgrade my medal from the Paralympics at Paris 2024. Honestly, I thought if I got a Paralympic medal, that would be when I retired from elite sport, but it's actually made me more motivated, and now I want to achieve more. So what makes me successful? In strength sport, consistency is really, really important and can have a huge impact on your ability to get stronger. And I think this is true in other walks of life as well. So whether I'm feeling motivated or not, I make sure I do my training session and anything I need to do to be a better athlete. Some days it's a lot harder than others, but it's so important. And I think that's a huge part of why I've managed to be successful. My stubborn personality helps for sure. I have a habit of setting myself a goal and doing everything I can to achieve those goals. Goal setting in my mind is hugely important to any success, and because it's hard to know what success is to you if you don't have a goal. And I think if you ask my coach, he'd say I was a perfectionist, which is both a blessing and a curse. I can be incredibly hard on myself, but it makes me good at my sport because there's a lot of rules in powerlifting, and the refs are really strict, especially on me for some reason. The other thing I think has helped me be successful is my support network. This isn't just coaches and teammates, but also my friends and family who actually have helped me with my training and generally keep me sane. If you can surround yourself with people who get what you're trying to achieve, it makes life so much easier. All that said, my main advice to people, if they ask, is to set goals and work hard. There is absolutely no substitute for hard work. So that's my story. Thank you very much for listening. You can follow my journey to Paris on social media. My website actually isn't up and running currently, but I'm working on that. And finally, I just want to say a big well done to all the nominees and award winners. And I probably should show you this, which is my Paralympic medal. There you go. That's me. I'm done.
Louise, that was amazing. Thank you so much for that. As you were talking, I was writing down a few words, and I'm thinking there are so many of our adult learning categories that you could have won an award in. When we talk about determination and inspiring others, you are certainly there. I was really impressed, as you mentioned, that you were in the powerlifting, that every time you won the award, you seem to lift a bit more. And I wonder if there's a limit to how much you can do. You know, if you keep on lifting, do you always keep on lifting a little bit more each time? Because that is truly inspiring. But also when you mentioned training to be an accountant alongside all that other hard work that you were doing what we know to be a very, very difficult qualification to achieve in accountancy. But you kept going with that as well. So I want to say thank you so much. It's been a very inspiring story. And I'm sure we've all enjoyed listening to you tonight.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
A virtual round of applause doesn't sound the same, does it?
No, it really doesn't.
But we are all doing it.
Thank you. And thank you for showing us your medal, which is obviously what we all really wanted to see anyway. So on to the awards part of the evening. As many of you know, we weren't able to hold the Learner Achievement Awards last year because of COVID. So this ceremony tonight actually represents 2 years of achievement. So as part of the nomination panel, we took that as a really big excuse to have a few more awards than perhaps we'd originally planned to do. The standard was excellent, and there were lots and lots and lots of nominations. So in some categories, we chose to have more than one winner, and we actually invented a couple of extra categories as well, just because we felt we earned it after having a year with no awards. However, we've got to remember that the winners that are here this evening, or that maybe Alex has seen over the last few weeks, represent thousands of individuals of organisations within West Berkshire, whose achievement in learning bring benefits to themselves, their families, their employers, and most of all their communities. For some, it's a long journey and it's taken a long time, and for some, there's still a long way to go. But you know what adult learning represents, I think, as Louise so aptly mentioned, is that you're never too old, it's never too long. If you want to keep learning, the opportunities are there, and we're there to help and support you. So whatever their needs and backgrounds, our winners tonight are proof that learning can really make a big difference to the lives of the individuals, their families, and the people around them. So enough of me. Let's get on with the presentation. So the first award this evening is for the Returning to Learning category, sponsored by Newbury Community Resource Centre. So Kelvin, Chief Executive of the Centre, can you please introduce this year's winner?
Yes, Debbie, thank you. This year's award for Returning to Learning goes to both Anne Harrod Robinson and Ian Dalton. Anne Harrod was nominated by Grafts for her determination to return to the classroom in order to improve her employment options after an extended period away from the workplace. Earlier this year, she enrolled on Grafts' Survival 2 course, which is a challenging 7-week programme involving mock interviews and the team challenge. And Harrod really impressed her tutors in the way she overcame her personal difficulties, throwing herself wholeheartedly into the learning process, and soon became a leading member of the group. Her confidence grew as her interest and enthusiasm in her learning developed. She's now in paid employment with the Time Gained organisation and taking one step at a time on her journey to develop a satisfying career. Congratulations, Anne Harrod, very well deserved. And now I come to somebody who I know rather well. Last year, Ian enrolled on a warehouse apprenticeship. At the age of 41, learning difficulties had contributed to Ian having a bad experience at school, and he had very low confidence when he met his tutor at West Berkshire Training Consortium. But Ian was determined to complete his apprenticeship, even though his training was interrupted during lockdown. He attended every session and worked with his tutor to address the challenge of online and independent learning. He continued to push himself and was even heard to say that he was buzzing about maths, something he never believed he could do. Ian works as a driver's mate at the Community Furniture Project, and he's determined to continue his learning to develop his job prospects. With his drive and determination and dedication, he is in an excellent position to move forward. Congratulations to both Anne Harrod and Ian. You both demonstrate the positive impact returning to learning can have, regardless of their age or background. Congratulations all around.
Another virtual And round of applause. Thank you very much. That was really brilliant. Second award for tonight is for determination, and it's going to be introduced by Alison, Principal Community Learning Officer at West Berkshire. For those of us who were on the panel, this was one of the strongest categories with lots and lots of nominations. So the panel decided to give an award to 2 people who've each demonstrated the importance of determination in their long journeys. In their learning journeys, sorry, not long journeys, learning journeys. Alison.
Yes, hi there, Debbie. Thank you very much. Okay, I'll speak slowly here. I'm always told I speak too quickly. The award for determination is given to 2 people, Sarah Green and Bob Franklin. We're doing quite well tonight. Sarah is a single mum to Hayden and regularly attends the East Family Hub in Calcott for advice, support, and the opportunity to mix with other parents and carers. During her time at the Hub, she has had to overcome many challenges relating to her mental health and family background, which has led her to enrolling on courses to enable her to move forward. The Hub staff initially encouraged her to attend a Boost course that focused on developing her resilience and confidence as a parent. The training really motivated Sarah to take control of her life and has led her to enrolling on a variety of courses such as 5 Ways to Wellbeing to support her mental health, the Time Out for Parents programme focusing on parenting in early years, anger management, and more recently, the CAN cooking and nutrition course. Sarah's determination to make a better life for her and her son is impressive. We all know how difficult it is to take those small first steps back into learning. Good luck, Sarah, for the future, and I hope you continue to build on your success. Our second determination award winner is Bob. After a chaotic early life that included a bad school experience, drugs, and a spell in prison, Bob found it difficult to find employment. He decided his best option was to develop his business in wood turning and turned up at the Real Business Club to learn about developing a business and being self-employed. The tutors were really impressed with his determination to succeed. He attended and contributed to every session, and even though his cognitive ability had been affected by previous experiences, he worked hard to develop his skills in money management, marketing, and customer relations. His course gave him the confidence to build a business, and he now has a workshop and is selling many local shops and markets, including to the prison shop where he often returns to tell his story. Bob is a fantastic example of you can turn your life around through learning. It provides opportunities and it's hope. Well done, Bob. I'm done.
I've got to remember to unmute myself though. So the next award, sponsored by West Berkshire Training Consortium, as in the adult apprenticeship category. Could Matt Garvey, Managing Director of West Berkshire Training Consortium, please tell us about this year's winner?
Thank you, Debbie, and hello everyone. I wish we were together face to face, but that day will come again. Before I introduce the winner, I just wanted to say well done to Louise. Thank you for being a guest. I don't know if you remember me, Louise. We met 2003 and you became an apprentice to us when I introduced you to employer at the time, and you were a great role model then, and you continue to be so. So the adult apprentice winner, I've got a nomination to read out from one of my colleagues who nominated the Adult Apprentice Award. The winner is Rosemary Flower, who works for West Berkshire Council. And her nominator said that Rose's story demonstrates the unique opportunities an apprenticeship can provide, in contrast to the traditional academic route. Following a school career that involved battling with dyslexia, Rosie embarked on a number of short college-based courses to develop her work skills and knowledge. This approach failed to motivate her, and she decided to apply for an apprenticeship role with the council's library service, with training provided by West Berkshire Training Consortium. Her studies enabled her to achieve her Level 2 Customer Service Apprenticeship and progress on to the Level 3 in Business Administration and Customer Service, gaining also her Level 2 functional skills in English and Maths along the way. The whole apprenticeship approach appealed to Rosie's learning style and with its strong focus on applying knowledge to support practical work skills. It just made the learning relevant and enjoyable for her. Rosie started her apprenticeship journey back in 2012, and she has recently successfully completed her team leading supervisor apprenticeship, attaining a distinction in her endpoint assessment. She now has a real confidence in her abilities and refuses to let dyslexia get in the way of her ambition. And Rosie is a team leader herself, managing 3 members of staff and a range of volunteers. She is an asset to the library service and a fantastic advert for apprenticeships. Well done, Rosie. You are amazing.
Thank you very much. That was very inspiring. Thank you. Okay, and on to the 4th award for this evening, which is the award for inspiring others, and is introduced by Mark Brown, Post-16 advisor at West Berkshire Council.
Thanks, Debbie. I mean, these stories are amazing. I just can't wait for them to keep on coming. So the Inspiring Others Award this year goes to Louise Lloyd, who is the Activity Assistant at Willow's Edge Care Home in Newbury. So Louise works with elderly people who have a range of age-related illnesses, including dementia and limited mobility. It's an important part of the service that clients are encouraged to take part in learning-based activities to keep their minds alert and stay physically active and remain connected with other people. And for a number of years, Newbury College has been running keeping active courses in care settings, which have been very popular with residents. But as with many things, during lockdown, face-to-face delivery had to stop and care staff had to react quickly to the changing environment to ensure clients remained safe and engaged. Working remotely with Tanya Reid, the Keeping Active tutor, Louise encouraged residents to continue to engage in the courses. She took responsibility for the delivery of the sessions, following Tanya's detailed lesson plans and sourcing resources. The residents responded to her positive enthusiasm and regularly attended the courses. And Louise not only delivered the learning, but she also became skilled at differentiation, adapting the activities and outcomes to the learner's individual needs and abilities. She was also instrumental in encouraging her clients' involvement in Creatively Engaged, which is an online community art exhibition. Willow's Edge residents provided a range of artist-inspired work for the exhibition, which developed the learners' creative skills and provided a self-esteem boost at a very difficult time for the care sector. So a particular big well done, Louise, and the care sector really felt it this year. And this is another example of the remarkable service that care staff provide to some of our very vulnerable students.
Thank you very much, Mark. Another inspiring story. So the next award is in the Tutor, Teacher and Trainer category. Again, this panel selected 2 winners, both of whom excelled over the last 2 years to ensure learners are motivated and completed their studies during very difficult times. Rose Carberry, who leads the Council's Community Learning Service, will introduce this year's winners.
Thank you, Debbie. The Teacher, Tutor, Trainer, sorry, I'm on my phone and somebody knew this would happen, apologies. The Teacher, Tutor, Trainer Award is shared between Mary Cruikshank and Tony Garraway. Mary is an experienced adult learning teacher who has delivered community-based IT and dance courses across West Berkshire. I'm so sorry, across West Berkshire for both Newbury College and the council. She has a real commitment to her learners and goes that extra mile to ensure the courses are interesting and fun and learners leave with a smile on their face. Mary is also very caring and has a fantastic ability to empathise with her learners, particularly the very vulnerable. This is reflected in the impressive work she's done with the homeless and dementia patients in local care settings where her armchair dancing is a great tonic to both the learners and care staff. It's no surprise that Mary was nominated 3 times for this year's awards. Her weekly dance classes at Newbury College are very popular, and her enthusiasm has both improved the learners' dance skills and developed strong friendships across the group. Tony is a tutor for the West Berkshire Training Consortium. Like many tutors, he's had to respond to the challenges of last year's lockdown by quickly moving his teaching online to enable the learners to continue their courses. However, Tony was determined to take up the challenge to ensure his learners remained engaged and were able to achieve. With little formal training, he developed excellent skills in using Google Meets and became an expert in the use of various online teaching tools to support group work, learner participation and interactive learning opportunities such as Jamboards and online quizzes. Tony's expertise has also enabled him to support his WBTC colleagues to develop their own online teaching skills, and he's gone on to create a learning hub that is full of resources to support the learners' studies. Congratulations to both Mary and Tony. You're both dedicated tutors who clearly have your learners at the centre of everything you do.
Thank you very much, Rose. A couple of inspiring stories. Always lovely to hear about the teachers. So the 6th award is new this year and acknowledges the fantastic work that's been put in over the last 18 months to develop online courses. The winner is introduced by Charlotte Conway-Lusted, Data and Finance Officer for the Community Learning Team.
The Online Learning Award goes to the Berkshire School of English for its move to becoming a virtual school. Led by Claire Middleton, the Berkshire School of English focuses on delivering a range of accredited and non-accredited English courses to native and non-native speakers. The vast majority of their learners are vulnerable, having travelled across the world, with many arriving as refugees who have left their home countries in dangerous conditions. As a result, the tutors often have mixed responsibilities involving general support, guidance and reassurance in addition to delivering the courses. A traditional community-based language school, the Berkshire School of English was skilled to delivering face-to-face courses. No one had any experience of delivering online provision, and it was generally felt this approach would not suit their learners. Last year's lockdown tested this approach with amazing results. To enable their learners to continue their studies, all courses were moved online, and tutors embarked on a rapid training initiative to develop their knowledge and skills. With no IT department or specialist to support them, the team had to rely on their determination and commitment to learners to find solutions. After watching a lot of YouTube videos and accessing free online training, they decided on Microsoft Teams for their online learning platform. They worked with their learners throughout the transition. Many had IT experience or knew friends or family members that could help. The tutors practiced their skills on the learners, and between them, they discovered interactive online teaching tools that supported the delivery format and content. Many of the learners needed support to move online. The tutors produced user guides in different languages, provided videos and PowerPoints with clear instructions, and incorporated an IT familiarization session at the beginning of each course. Becoming a virtual school gave the Berkshire School of English the opportunity to widen their learner base by removing barriers such as childcare and travel. More people accessed courses. Many from more remote areas of the district, with 88% of students preferring the online approach, and along with a high success rate, the school decided to continue as a virtual school with targeted community-based courses. 18 months ago, they had to choose between going online or closing the school. It is in West Berkshire's benefit that they chose to go online. Well done to all the Berkshire School of English staff and learners.
Thank you, Charlotte. Yeah, a really inspiring from the Berkshire School of English there, and their doubts originally about online learning and how they turned that into such a wonderful, successful story. So well done to them. Thank you. So the next award is a special recognition award to acknowledge the wide range of people and roles that support a learner's journey. Alison will tell us more. You're on mute, Alison.
Okay, can you hear me?
We can now, yes.
Okay, right. Sorry about that, everybody. Okay, this special award recognises the importance of peer mentoring within the learning environment. It goes to Lorraine Broadhurst and Annette Puttick, who are both peer trainers with recovery in mind, the local recovery college that focuses on using education to support people with mental health concerns. In this context, the peer trainer uses their own lived experience of mental health challenges to inspire and empower students on courses, workshops, and events. Both Lorraine and Lynette have had their own personal unique journeys, which have enabled them to provide positive support and insight into how tools and skills learnt in class can be used to manage well-being. Becoming a personal trainer or mentor is an important stage in an individual's journey to positive mental health. It provides an opportunity to take on responsibility and support others, which in turn develops the confidence and self-belief of the trainer. It is fantastic that we have a recovery college here in West Berkshire, and I would like to thank all the staff, including Lorraine and Lynette, for the work they do to support people with mental health concerns across the district. I'm very lucky to have you.
Thank you, Alison. Can I just echo that? I'm always so impressed with the work of Recovery in Mind, and the role of the peer mentors is truly inspiring. So thank you very much for that. And on to our next award. Learning as a group provides many additional benefits in terms of sharing ideas, discussions, and friendships. This year's group award is introduced by Alex.
So the Group of Learners Award goes to the Newbury College Ballroom and Latin American Dance Improvers Group. Consisting of 5 couples, the group has been studying ballroom dancing for over 3 years, progressing from beginners to improvers, and they are now moving towards pre-bronze level. In addition to learning dances such as foxtrot, quick step, cha-cha, jive, and samba, the group has become close friends and are a fine example of how learning in any form can have positive benefits in terms of health and well-being. Their love of dance keeps them fit and flexible. It gives them confidence and self-belief, and it keeps them connected with other communities. As a group member, Marina says, "I believe in dance. I have seen it do incredible things for all kinds of people. I believe ballroom dancing is a cure-all, mentally, physically, and spiritually." Congratulations to all the group members. They are a fantastic example of how informal learning can bring huge benefits regardless of when and where you started.
Thank you, Alex. Another wonderful story. I think I'm just smiling to myself at the importance of making friends and having fun, and how important that is when we learn anything, and what a joy it must be to be a member of that class. So thank you very much, and a special thank you to their teacher. So the penultimate award tonight is another special recognition award, and Mark Brown's going to tell us some more about it.
Yeah, it's me again. Yeah, we had so many wonderful applicants that we had to double up on some of these awards, and this special recognition award goes to Carly Johnston for her contribution to supporting others in their learning. So Carly works at the Newbury Community Resource Centre, which, amongst any other services, sort of delivers a range of employment-based courses to adults in West Berkshire, and we've heard a bit more information about that before. Now, Carly herself is a product of Kelvin's team, I guess, after joining in 2012 through the Shaw Trust Bridging the Gap employment scheme. So Carly was employed initially as an administration assistant, but it soon became clear that she had a natural ability in supporting others, and specifically those clients with learning difficulties and disabilities. So to support her role, Carly embarked on a range of training courses that included social care, first aid, safeguarding, medication, and customer service. And many of these courses she completed on her own initiative, both online and at the local college. And she is now actively involved in supporting other clients in developing their learning and achieving their qualifications to move them into employment. So together with her caring, kind, and understanding manner, she uses her own experience to encourage and support others. So well done, Carly. Another
wonderful story. Thank you so much, Carly. Thank you so much, Mark, for telling us all about it. And as if by magic, we are at the final award for this evening. And this is the category for Outstanding Achievement. This award is sponsored by Newbury College, and therefore I'm going to ask Kobe Milsom, who manages the college's community learning programme, to tell us about this award and its winner.
Thank you very much, Debbie, and an amazing award it is. This year's Outstanding Achievement Award goes to Lizzie Reeves, who recently completed a Level 4 apprenticeship in Information Systems and Business Analysis. Lizzie worked in West Berkshire Council Digital Services team and started her studies in April 2020, just after lockdown was announced. From that point, she had to continue her course online with limited additional support from colleagues and her training provider. This was a big step for Lizzie, who had initially been attracted to the course because of the regular training and support sessions and the practical nature of her content, which linked to her work experience. During this time, Lizzie was also redeployed to the Community Support Hub to help with the Council's COVID-19 response. This took her away from the digital team role, which provided the important practical side of the apprenticeship. However, she showed huge strength of character, and through hard work and dedication, she managed to complete her apprenticeship in September this year, while also completing the Prince 2 Foundation and Practitioner course. Since obtaining her qualification, Lizzie has been promoted to become a business analyst on the digital service team and is planning further training to support her career development. Lizzie's success has given her the confidence to grow and develop. She says she's always lacked self-belief, but is now able to face new challenges with a new confidence in her ability. Congratulations, Lizzie. You really deserve this award. Well done.
Well done, Lizzie, and thank you very much for Kobe for telling us about it. Another amazing story, and one where somebody has thrived despite lockdown as well. So thank you very much for that. So we're almost at the end of our evening. I think we'd all like to congratulate all our winners this evening. I'm sure you agree that each award is well deserved, and there goes the dog with the squeaky squirrel. Before I close, I'd like to especially thank Louise, sorry about the squeaky squirrel, for joining us for this evening's keynote speech. I think we can all say we feel much more motivated as a result of what Louise told us tonight, but also about some of our learners as well and what they've managed to achieve over the last 2 years. I'd like to thank our sponsors, Newbury College, West Berkshire Training Consortium, Newbury Community Resource Centre, for their continuing support for the Learner Achievement Awards. Thank you very much to them. I want to make a special thank to the member of the Community Learning Partnership, local providers and everyone else who sent in the nomination and has promoted the awards, and also for their role in supporting these learners to get to where they are today. So thank you very much to them. Their contribution is invaluable. Finally, I'd like to thank you all for joining and helping making the ceremony so special. I really hope next year we'll be at Shore House. I really want to have an evening out. Sorry, the dog is squeaking his squirrel. Today's the last day of the Lifelong Learning Week, a national celebration of adult and family learning. I've been impressed with the stories in the media. I'm sure you've been seeing them too. And this evening, the benefits of learning as an adult. Remember, it's never too late. I think I might take up ballroom dancing, by the way. And I urge you to have a go. It could change your life. Thank you again for supporting us this evening. Have a wonderful weekend. And I hope to see you all very soon, if not at Shore House this time next year. Thank you very much, everybody.